Hey guys, welcome to week 8 of remote learning. We are about halfway through chapter 12. So this week will be 12.4, 12.5, and 12.6. So remember, you're going to have 3 homework assignments on those and 3 quizzes on those.
You guys got this. 2 more weeks. This is your last 2 weeks. Don't forget, it's the highlighted problems on the homework. All right, some of you might have already seen this. We're doing Box-and-Whiskers plots. They're a great way to show the spread of the data. But first, a little review of last time, or of key things. We need to find the mean, the median, and the mode. So the first step is to always put them in order. Boom. 6, 6. All right, and then let's start with the mean. Mean is the average, so we would add them all up. Handy dandy calculator. Add them all up. 18 plus 29 plus 30 plus 31. I get 174, and I divide by how many there are. There was 6 of them. Again, in the calculator, 174 divided by 6. The mean, or the average of the data, would be 29. Next, we're going to do the median. For the median, that's the middle. So we kind of nick off on both sides till we find the middle. 1, 1, 2, 2, and we have 2 in the middle. What we do with that is we add them and divide by 2 for the 2 numbers. 30 plus 31 divided by 2. Handy dandy calculator. 30.5. That would be the middle of the data. And then last but not least is mode. The mode is the most common. In this situation, the only one that has more than 1 is the 33. There's 2 of them, so that would be our mode. Good review there of key concepts. All right, let's get going on this Box-and-Whisker plot. Again, it's a way to summarize the data. It mostly talks about the spread, how spread out the data is. We're going to be finding 5 values every time for this. You need 5 values. The min, the smallest number, the max, the median, so the middle, and then this is new for us. First quartile, which we call Q1, and third quartile, which we're going to call Q3, which talks about the upper half. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. You're going to have your min, boom, goes all the way to the max, and then you're going to find the median. I'm just going to say median for now, or med, and then you're going to have your Q1 in the first position, and Q3 in the second position. You're like, I don't get it, where's the Q2? In this case, the median is the Q2, right? It's Q1, Q2, Q3, but they just call it the Q2 median. All right, let's do it. So you have to find 5 values and draw. Piece of cake, here we go. All right, we have a table here talking about the amount of crops harvested in the US during a certain period. It looks like they're talking about acres of crops. First step, because we're doing median and such, is we need to put them in order. All right, we got 303, 307, 311, 312. There are 2 314s. Or wait, there's 1, 2, 3 314s. A 315. I see 2 316s. And a 321. All right, we're finding our 5 things. Step 1 is min and max. That's easy. Oops. Min, max. And then we need to find our medians. Our median. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Boom, there's our median. And then we need to do Q1 and Q3. So this is really important. Because where do we start here on the slashing to find the middle of these 3? Well, if you have 1 number, you do not use that number in it. So you're going to find the median between this data. If you did have 2, you would slash off 1 from each side. But we only have 1 number here, so we will not use it for the Q1. So Q1, nick, 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 nick. This would be our Q1. It is the middle of the left side of the data. Same thing here. 1 and 1, 2 and 2. Boom, that would be our Q3. So on your homework, you need to make sure you either list them out or you're doing what I do and you circle them and write down for each. Now we're gonna make it. All right, we go from about 300 to 321 and about 325. I'm gonna go by fives. You have to figure that out on your own on what you want to go by. Going by fives. That was my decision. All right, and that's all I need because my max is 325. Okay, here we go. Our minimum is at 303. Well, here's 300, so 303 would be about there. Make a dot. Our max is at 321. Well, here's 320, so then 321 would be right there. Q1 is 311. That's right above 310. And you make a long bar. Our median, 314, right before 315. Again, long bar to make our box. And then Q3 is 316, which is right there. And then you connect them to make your box, and here's your whiskers. So this tells me this is the first 20%, second 20%, first 50%, right? It's a good way to break up the data into the different spreads of the data. All right, you have your practice problem on the back. Go ahead and practice that now. Okay, I put them in order. You don't need help with that. And then from there, we're finding our 5 values. Our min, 24. Our max, 33. And now we're finding our median, or our middle. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. I have 2 this time, so I would find the average. So I would add them together and divide by 2. That would give me 29.5 for the median. And now we're finding our Q1, Q3, which are our medians of the sides. So in this situation, I have 2 numbers in the middle, so I would then use 1 for each side of the Q1 and Q3. So with 2 numbers, I split it down the middle, and then I start nicking off. So 1, 1, 2, 2. So there are 2 in the middle. So again, you add them, divide by 2, I get 27. Boop. And then Q3, same thing. 1, 1, 2 in the middle. I find the middle of those, and I get 31.5. So I have my 5 values. Now you just have to make your box and whiskers plot. All right, let's see. I go from 24 to 33. I think 2s is good to go by here. 22, 24. What's my max? 33. All right, and let's do this. Our min, 24. Our max, 33. And then we do our box. So 27, it's right in the middle. Median, 29.5, that's almost 30. And my Q3 is 31.5, which is almost 32. Try and be as accurate as you can of finding the correct values and completing your box and whiskers plot. Look at that beauty. Okay, so for this week, our keyword is box and whiskers, so we're gonna draw a box with whiskers.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Looks like a cat.
Don't forget to give it a little smiley face. That's your keyword for the week. All right, another example is you have to be able to look at data and say things about it and what it means in terms of box and whiskers plots. All right, here we go. We have the average monthly rainfall. It says, what do the interquartile ranges tell you about the average monthly rainfall for each city? We haven't learned this word yet, but interquartile range we call IQR. That's the Q3 minus your Q1. It's pretty much this area right here, the big box. That's your interquartile range that we want to discuss. So as we can see here, Miami has a much longer box than New Orleans. I'm just going to write that so you have it down. Has a larger box, so then it has a larger interquartile range, whereas New Orleans quartile range is much smaller. So this tells me the range of Miami's rainfall can be very extreme, to be really small up to really high, whereas New Orleans is a little bit more consistent. They all stay around that area. So the question was, what do they tell you about the average monthly rainfall? Miami has a larger box, so it has a larger interquartile range. That also means it is more varied in the middle. So more varied in the middle 50%. So try and explain it as best you can. You're pretty much looking for a larger box or a smaller box, and that'll tell you which one's more spread out. Okay, last little part of the homework is talking about percentiles. Try your best on these on the homework. Percentiles talk about what you would do if the data was spread into 100 equal parts. And then you can rank them depending on that as a percentage. So the percentage of data values that are less than or equal to a given value. So in this situation, out of 25 test scores, 8 are less than or equal to 75. What is the percentile rank of a test score of 75? Well, kind of confusing here. Let's read it again. Of 25 test scores, 8 are less than or equal to 75. So we know 8 are already less than 75. So where does the percentile of 75 rank for our ranking here? Well, we know 8 of the test scores are less than our total. So then all we need to do is we know 8 are 75 or lower. So where would 75 rank? Is you just take the percentage 8 out of 25. Ugh. Get 0.32. You guys know this, to get it into a percent, you move the decimal twice. So 32% of the data is less than or equal to 75. So that's its percentile rank. Good luck on the homework. We can Zoom for help.
Woo!